Sir, the next feature what I have to explain, Java high performance. Okay, like sir, when compared with other interpreted languages like JavaScript, Python, performance of Java is more when compared with those languages, right? Sir, why performance is more? What is the internal reason for that? Very important for the exam sake. Remember that, sir. Sir, here Java, in Java there is, have you ever heard about hotspot JVM word? Please confirm. Have you ever heard about this word, hotspot JVM? This concept came in 1.2 version of Java. Okay, but from 1.3 version, by default JVM is a hotspot JVM only. Sir, in Java 11, Java 14, what we are using is a hotspot JVM only. Sir, what is the meaning of hotspot JVM? The JVM which can identify hotspots. The JVM which contain JIT compiler, such type of component, such type of JVM is called, okay, hotspot JVM, right? So what is the extra advantage because of this JIT? Sir, performance will be improved. Remember this one, sir. What is the main advantage of JIT? JIT means just in time compiler. JIT compiler means just in time compiler. The biggest advantage of JIT compiler is performance will be improved. Do you know Java is high performance? Java has more high performance. What is the reason for that? Is JIT is the main reason. So how, sir, can you explain with an example? Like you may ask, sir, what is JIT? Just in time compiler. It is a part of JVM. What is the advantage of JIT compiler, right? Sir, just I have one in my Java program. Just assume that I have one method is there, sir. Assume I have a method is there, M1 method. This M1 method contain 10,000 lines are there. How many lines? 10,000 lines. Now what I am trying to take, let me call M1. I am calling this method M1. Okay, after some time I am calling this M1. Okay, after some time I am calling this M1. After some time I am calling this M1. Okay, I wrote method only once, but I am calling that method. I am trying to invoke that method multiple times. So every time these 10,000 lines of the code should be executed. Okay, that's about my requirement, right? Sir, what happened is, if it is not a hotspot JVM, if it doesn't contain JIT compiler, what will happen? Here is, whenever you are calling method M1 internally, what will happen is, sir, here M1 will execute. In the M1, first line, read, interpret. What we have to take? Can you please spell out? Interpret. Interpret means this byte code will be converted into mission code. Execute. Okay, like so. What is the first operation? Read, interpret, and execute. Okay, like first line completed. Again, second line, read, interpret, execute. Third line, read, interpret, execute. Are you getting? Read, interpret, execute, like please make sure. So 10,000 lines, sir, every line we have to read, interpret, execute is going to be happen. So first method call completed. Now second method, sir, second time the same method we are invoking. What happened is, whenever we are calling this method second time, again read, interpret, execute. Read, interpret, execute. Array, the same method only. We already converted into the mission code. Why we have to convert again into mission code? So unnecessary, it's a burden. Performance is going to be down. Are you getting? If you are not having JIT compiler, this is the problem what we have. If you have JIT compiler, what happened? If it is a hotspot JVM, what will happen is, internally JVM will maintain one count for every method. Remember this, one count value for every method, default value is 0. Whenever we are calling a method, okay, immediately this count will be incremented to 1. Now read, interpret, execute. Read, interpret, execute is going to be happen. Now whenever we are calling the same method second time, now the count value will be incremented to 2. Assume that 2. Now read, interpret, execute. Read, interpret, execute. Read, interpret, execute. Same steps only, same process will be happen. Whenever we are calling third time, now the count value will become 3. Okay, most of the JVMs threshold value of the count is 3. Remember that. Sir, if it reaches 3 means it is a repeatedly required method. Are you getting? It is repeatedly required method. If it is a repeatedly required method, what the JVM will do is, sir, immediately JIT compiler will compile this total code into mission code. Okay, into mission code, because it is repeatedly required. Convert into mission code. Next time onwards, directly we have to execute mission code. We are not required to convert again and again every line into the mission code. Are you getting right? So just if m1 method is going to call 10,000 times, assume that only first 2 times it will execute line by line, I mean read, interpret, execute. But third time or fourth time onwards, yes, direct execution of this mission code line by line. We are not required to interpret. Who is responsible to compile this total method into the mission code is JIT compiler. Remember this one. Who is the responsible, sir? JIT compiler. JIT compiler is the part of JVM. This commonly required repeated code. This commonly required code is called hotspot. Are you getting what is the meaning of hotspot, sir? Repeatedly required code. Repeatedly required code is called hotspot. So the JVM which can identify hotspot, which can compile into mission code, only once such type of capable JVM is called hotspot JVM. This concept came in which version, sir? Java 1.2 version, but from 1.3 version onward, every JVM by default hotspot JVM only. Clear for all of right? So what is the meaning of hotspot JVM? Okay, like sir, suppose if a method executed only once, can you please tell? A method, just m2 method is there, it executed only once. Either JIT compiler came in the picture? Respond. Either JIT compiler came in the picture? JIT compiler will come in the picture if a threshold value, if the count reaches a threshold value, maybe 2, maybe 3, okay, like based on JVM, right? It is varied from JVM to JVM. Most of the JVM, 3 is the default threshold value. So if the method executed only once or only two times, sorry man, JIT compiler is not required. JIT compilation concept applicable, sir, only for repeatedly required methods. Instead of interpreting every time, interpret into mission code only once and use that mission code every time wherever it is required. Clear for all of right? So why Java has high performance? Simple answer you have to tell, JIT compiler is the only reason. Very, very important for Java 11 certification. Please take a bit very special care, sir. Okay, just high performance. Java is relatively faster than traditional interpreted languages since bytecode is close to native code, but Java still somewhat slower than C or C++. Okay, when compared with C or C++, performance of Java is low, but when compared with the traditional interpreted languages, performance is more. The internal reason for that is JIT compiler is the reason why Java has good performance. Clear? Any doubt? Sir, the next feature what I have to discuss, Java is dynamic. Have you observed right? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of dynamic? Java is dynamic. Sir, it's very simple, sir. Dot class file required by JVM to execute our program. Sir, all dot class files won't be loaded at the beginning. Remember that, sir. Sir, whenever a particular class is required, then only JVM will load that dot class file. Okay, load on demand. Array, whenever it is required, then only load, then only load. So don't load all the things at the beginning only. Okay, this type of behavior is nothing but dynamic, sir. But if you go for C language, sir, if I use have you remember, right, hash include, somewhere you may heard about hash include stdio.h. okay, like all input output header files will be loaded at the beginning only, whether you are using or not using. In the case of C language, we have that problem, but in Java, no dot class file will be loaded at the beginning. Whenever it is required, then only the corresponding dot class file will be loaded. This load on demand nature is by default considered as dynamic. Is it clear, right? Sir, let me explain with a small example so that you people can get much clarity, sir. Sir, assume that I have one class is there. Okay, class student I am taking. Sir, I have a class student class I am taking. Now here I am taking one static block. Have you remember when the static block will be executed? When the static block will be executed at the time of class loading, remember. Now system.out.println, okay, student class loading, like this I am taking, sir. Assume that this is my class student. Next class test I am taking, class test class, public static void main method, main method I am taking string array args. Public static void main string array args. Here just a system.out.println hello world, okay, like I am trying to take, sir, that's all. Okay, assume this total program I saved as test.java. Have you observed total program I saved as test.java? Now let me compile. Let me compile this one, sir. Java C test.java. Sir, whenever you are compiling a Java program, in that program, how many classes are there? For every class, a separate dot class file will be generated. Remember that? So 2 dot class files will be generated. Student dot class and then test dot class. Regarding how many dot class files will be generated? 2, because our program contains 2 classes. One is student class, second one is test class, right? Now my target is Java test. Like this I am executing test class. Sir, have you observed to execute test class, either student dot class file will be loaded or not? Here respond. Whenever we are executing test class, student dot class file will be loaded or not? No, it won't be loaded. What is the reason for that? Is inside a test class we never going to use student class. That's why whenever we are executing a Java class, whatever dot class file required, only the dot class file will be loaded by JVM, not every dot class file. Okay, like sir, because I'm not using student class, that's why student class won't be loaded. Okay, let me execute this one so that you people can get much clarity. Observe carefully. Here I'm trying to take, just observe carefully. I have a program is there, same programs are class student, static block, student class loading, class test. Even for test class also, let me keep test class loading. Okay, like I took, sir. Now public static void main hello world, like this. So let me comment this line. I don't want to use a student functionality, right, sir? Now let me remove this line. Okay, let me remove this line. Now observe carefully. Inside test class, I'm not using any student class. Okay, so student dot class file won't be loaded. Okay, have a look once. Let me execute, let me compile Java C test.java. The code compiles fine. Java test. What the answer we are getting? Test class loading followed by hello world. So which class loaded, sir? only test class, loaded. Why student class not loaded? Because you are not using. Remember, right? Sir, now after this SOP of hello world, let me use a student class. Now observe that. Now have a look once. Sir, after SOP of hello world, student s is equal to new student. So JVM will load the student class at what time, sir? Whenever the control reaches line number 17. Okay, after hello world, then only student.class file will be loaded. Once a student class is going to load, static block will execute. Simple, we will get student class loading. So whenever a particular class is required, then only JVM is going to load. This load on demand nature is by default considered as dynamic. Any doubt about this? Sir, let me execute this code so that you people can get much clarity. Here, observe carefully. Let me execute this one. Yes, the code compiles fine. Let me run. Have you observed? After hello world, student class loading, because after hello world statement you use a student class. Okay, when you use a student class after printing hello world, then only we use it. That's why after printing hello world, then only student class loading is happen. That's why what is the meaning of dynamic? Clear, right? Load on demand. This type of feature is called Java dynamic nature. Sir, observe carefully. Here if you observe that, here just Java dynamic. In case of Java programs, all .class files won't be loaded at the beginning. At runtime, if JVM required any class, then only the corresponding .class file will be loaded. Dynamic loading or lazy loading. Remember. Next, the main advantage is program will always get latest version of .class file. Correct? Because it won't be loaded at the beginning. Whenever it is required, then only latest version, and the memory utilization also will be improved. Clear for all of that? That's all. These are various features of Java, or 12 buzzwords of Java. Clear for you people, right? Just observe carefully. So that's all. Java is simple, very easy to learn, very easy to use. Okay. Next, platform independent. Write once, run anywhere. Next, architecture neutral. If you perform any changes in the architecture, we are not required to perform any change in our Java program. Portable. Migrating Java program from one machine to another machine is very easy. We are not required to perform any changes in our Java program. Secure. Okay, you know, right? Bytecode verifier will verify is this .class file is valid, properly formatted or not. Next, object oriented. We can enjoy every feature of object oriented in Java, like inheritance, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, like. Next, multi-threaded. Multiple threads we can start simultaneously. Performance we can improve. Okay, like robust. The chance of failing Java program is very less. Next, distributed. So we can distribute our Java functionality, Java application functionality across multiple JVMs. Okay, like interpreted, both compiled and interpreted, right? So high performance because of JIT compiler. Next, dynamic means load on demand. Clear? Any doubt about these Java features?